Hello, I welcome you all to EdCam channel. In this video lecture, we are going to continue chemical kinetics. The subtopic that we are going to discuss, that is instantaneous rate of reaction. Then we'll talk about some of the factors which affect the rate of the chemical reaction. Next, we'll talk about the rate law and rate constant. Next, we'll talk about the order and molecularity of any chemical reaction. We'll continue with this graph that we have previously discussed, where we have discussed the average rate. Now we'll discuss about the instantaneous rate and slope. So without a doubt, let's start. So now instantaneous rate of the reaction. So what is the meaning of instantaneous rate of the reaction? So that is the rate of the reaction at any instant of time during the course of the reaction. So how can you understand the instantaneous rate of the reaction? So you can see this graph, as we have discussed earlier, the rate of the reactant is going to decrease, right? So what happens as the time increases, there are two type of rate you can see. One is the average rate, another is the instantaneous rate. So average rate we have discussed, that is minus delta R by T, or minus C2 minus C1 divided by T2 minus T1. So that average rate talks about the rate from point C2 to C1 or C1 to C2, right? In the time period of T2 and T1. But whereas instantaneous rate will define as the instant time T, how the reaction is going to proceed. So we can see that instantaneous rate of the reactant. As we know that rate R average can be represented as minus delta R divided by delta T, right? So if we'll apply the limit in this reaction, that is limit delta T tends to 0, and we'll apply minus dr upon dt, so we'll get, so that is minus delta R upon delta T, so that will get d R by dt, and here it will be minus, right? So instantaneous rate can be defined as minus d R divided by dt. So if you'll see that instantaneous rate means at a particular time, if you'll extend this graph, then you will get the instantaneous rate of the reaction. And the slope is the negative slope, because you see that this is the negative slope represent. And we'll talk about the product. Similarly, R instantaneous can be represented as, see, you can see this graph for the product, the graph is going to increase, right? So at this point, you'll find out this point is R instantaneous, that is positive dp by dt. So what is dp? Dp represent your concentration, and this is nothing but your time. Here is also, this is concentration, and this is time. Okay, so now if I'll ask you one question, what is the unit? So as we know that rate is equal to concentration upon time. So concentration, what is the unit of concentration? That is mole per liter, and there is one time per second. Okay, so unit is mole per liter per second. Okay, now let us try to solve question number 1. Write the rate of reaction of this particular type. Okay, so as we know that rate of reaction, so I'm going to write two part. One is product. So as we know that for product, rate, now write rate of the reactant. So as we know that this is the reactant and this is the product, right? So the reactant is going to decrease. So I'm writing here negative d N2 divided by dt. This is your concentration of N2. Okay, that is equal to negative rate. Here coefficient is 3, so we have to divide it by 1 by 3. So d H2 divided by dt. So both the nitrogen and hydrogen, they are going to reduce. So we have applied here negative sign. So next one is rate of product. So product is our ammonia, right? So I'm writing here positive. Coefficient is 2, that's why 1 by 2 d NH3 whole divided by dt. So this is the rate of the reaction. So rate of the reaction, we can write rate of reaction, the total chemical reaction, that is negative d N2 divided by dt is equal to minus 1 by 3 d H2 divided by dt is equal to positive 1 by 2 d NH3 divided by dt. Now a bigger question is, what are this dH2 by dt? So you remember, this is also represent your rate of, this is also rate of N2, okay, and this factor is rate of H2, rate of H2 hydrogen gas, and this is rate of ammonia NH3, okay. But if you apply 1 by 2, that is represent your rate of the reaction. So don't confuse with rate of the reaction and rate of individual gases, okay. So you can think of any reaction. So let's suppose the reaction is some 2A plus 5B gives 3C. Similarly, you apply the rate of reaction in this case, that is 1 by 2A negative. Here it is negative 1 by 5B. So this is dt, and here it is 1 by 3 positive dc by dt. Okay, this is just one example, you remember. So anytime the question asks, we have to write this in this form, and we can find out the rate of the reaction or individual rate. Now let us try to find out the solution for question number 2. Decomposition of N2O5 is expressed as with this equation. In a certain time interval, rate of decomposition of N2O5 is 1.8 into rate of decomposition of N2O5 is given as 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 mole liter per minute. Okay. What will be the rate of formation of NO2 and O2 during the same interval? So to solve this question, first we have to write the rate of reaction. That is equal to, as N2O5 is going to decompose, so I am writing here negative d N2O5 divided by dt. That is equal to the formation of NO2, positive 1 by 2 NO2 divided by dt. Again, the formation of O2 gas. So here half is there, so I'm writing here 2. So 1 by half is equal to 2. So d O2 divided by dt. Now the data given is, rate of this data is already given. So he is asking, find out the rate of NO2 and O2. So how can you find out? Again, take these two values, try to find out the rate of formation of NO2. So I'm writing here 1 by 2 d NO2 divided by dt. So what is this factor? This is rate of formation of NO2. So that is equal to the value of this. Okay. So the value of this is already given as 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 3. So if we'll solve this, we'll get the value 3.6 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is the rate of NO2. Again, similarly, if we'll take the value of this and this value, Now we'll get, so twice of the concentration of O2 divided by time is equal to, don't take this as negative value, always take positive value. So this values is equal to 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay. Now we have to get this value, that is nothing but your formation of oxygen gas. So take this 2 in the denominator. So formation of oxygen will be 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.9 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is the formation of oxygen gas. So in this way we have to find out the value. Remember one thing, rate is always positive. Because we are taking the magnitude. Okay, so this is positive value, this is also positive value. So next we'll discuss about factor affecting rate of the reaction. So there are 5 factors which affect the rate of reaction. One is concentration, pressure, temperature, surface area of the reactant, and catalyst. So we'll discuss one by one. No, first now let's talk about the concentration. So what happens when the concentration is increased? So rate is directly proportional to the concentration. If you think that, that is rate is equal to, that is minus of C2 minus C1 divided by T2 minus T1, right? So as we increase the concentration, so don't think is this a negative value. As we increase the concentration, the rate is going to increase. So faster will be the rate. Pressure and temperature, as we increase pressure and temperature, both the rate is going to increase, because the more and more molecule is going to collide, and that is going to rapidly give the product. Surface area of the reactant, as we know that when the reactant converted to the product, if reactant will get larger surface, that means the probability of converting that reactant into product will be higher. Hence, rate will be higher or increase. Catalyst, similarly, if we'll talk about the catalyst, so catalyst is going to give the faster rate, or it is going to decrease the activation energy, and more product will be formed very easily. Hence, we can say that these 5 factors affect the rate of the reaction. Now let us discuss rate law. So rate law can be explained as the actual relationship between the concentration of reacting species and the reaction rate. It's determined by experimentally. So now we'll go one by one. Let us take one hypothetical reaction, that is A moles of A going to react with B moles of B, and it is going to produce C moles of C and D moles of D. Okay. So for this reaction, the rate is defined as, the rate is directly proportional to the concentration of A raised to the power a constant value m, and the concentration of B raised to the power a value of n. Okay. So now as there is a proportionality, so we can write rate is equal to some constant A to the power m and B to the power n. Okay. So this m and n are constant value, and that depends upon experimentally. Okay. So whatever we are writing, all this rate law is calculated experimentally. Do not confuse with this actual reactions. Okay. So rate law can be expressed with this value. Now rate constant. So as we already calculated, rate is equal to, what I'm doing, as this is concentration, I'm writing mole per liter. This is also mole per liter. Okay. So rate is equal to rate constant K into what I'm writing here. This is concentration. This is also concentration. So I'm writing here concentration to the power m into n. I'm writing here only one value, that is n. Okay. K is equal to, R stands for rate divided by concentration to the power some n. So we know that unit of rate is mole per liter per second divided by unit of concentration is mole per liter N. So if we'll solve this value, what we'll get, mole per liter to the power 1 minus n per second. So what is n? N is order of reaction. So if this is zero order, we can find out the unit of rate constant. If it is 1, we can find out the putting the value of here, we can find out the value. Okay. So let's try to find out the unit of order of the reaction. Okay. Zero order. If zero order is there, in that case n is equal to 0. So if we'll put n is equal to 0, unit of rate constant will be mole per liter. 1 minus 0 is 0 per second. First order, that is n is equal to 1. So put n is equal to 1, we'll get unit of rate constant, that is per second. Second order, n is equal to 2, unit of rate constant will be, put here it is 2, so per mole liter per second. In this way we can find out for third order and fourth order and so on. Okay, now let us discuss about order of reaction. So order of reaction defined as sum of power of which concentration must be raised in an experimental determine the rate of the equation. Okay, so let us take the hypothetical reaction. For an example, A moles of A is going to react with B moles of B and going to produce C moles of C and D moles of D. Okay, for this hypothetical reaction, rate of reaction is defined as, that is K, reaction constant, concentration of A raised to the power M, and concentration of B is raised to the power N. Okay, M and N are order of A and B, which is experimentally calculated. Okay, so this M and N are the order of the reaction and they can be calculated experimentally. Okay, now a bigger question is, are this A value and M value or B or N are they equal? The answer is may be or may not be. Okay, so this M and N and A and B, they can be related or they cannot be related, or they can be same or they can be different. That only depend upon the experimental calculations. Okay, order of the reaction will be, now if we know the value of M and N experimentally, we can write order of reaction, it can be M plus N. Okay, now that order can be zero order or first order or second order or so on. Now let us talk about the molecularity. So the number of reacting species take part in the elementary reaction which must collide in order to bring out the chemical reaction. See, what is the meaning? If we'll talk about any chemical reactions, let's suppose HI is going to give 2HI is going to give H2 plus I2. Now initially we can think that in the reactant, two molecule of HI is going to take part, right? Two molecule of HI is going to take part in the chemical reaction. So we will call it as a bimolecular reaction. Okay. Now we can think of NH4 NO2. So in this reaction, when it is going to decompose, the product will be N2 plus 2H2O. Now What is the molecularity of this reaction? As only one molecule take part in the chemical reaction, okay, and that one molecule is going to give the product. So here we will say this is unimolecular. And another example we can take, 2NO plus O2. This is going to give 2NO2. Now here you see 2 molecule of NO is going to react with 1 molecule of O2. So total 3 molecules initially they are going to collide and they bring out the chemical reaction, right? So this will be trimolecular. Okay, I think this is must be clear. This is bimolecular, unimolecular and trimolecular. Now let's talk about difference between molecularity and order of the reaction. As we have explained molecularity and order of the reaction, let us now discuss what are the difference. Okay, so talking about the molecularity, as we have seen, molecularity can never be zero or nor fraction. As we are talking about unimolecular, bimolecular or trimolecular, so there won't be any zero molecules take part in the chemical reaction and that is going to give the product. So whenever there is a product, that means it will give unimolecular or one molecule will take part, or two molecule or three molecule or so on. Whereas order of the reaction, as we have seen that there are zero order of the reaction is possible, and order of the reaction that can be a fraction or integer. Next difference is molecularity is independent of pressure and temperature. Okay, but whereas in the order of the reaction, as we have seen that it depend upon the pressure and temperature. Third one, it is assigned to be each step-by-step mechanism. In molecularity, we will define that reaction is going to proceed step by step. Whereas in the order of the reaction, we are calculating the order for overall chemical reaction, okay? For overall chemical reaction. Next one, fourth point, it is the number of molecule reacting concentration terms take part in elementary step of the reaction. As we have discussed, only elementary step of reactant, that is unimolecular or bimolecular or trimolecular, is going to decide the molecularity. But whereas in the order of the reaction, we have to calculate or we have to take the concentration of the reaction experimentally. Okay, so for an example, we have calculated that is order is equal to m plus n, right? So this m plus n is experimentally calculated. Then last point is molecularity of the reaction cannot be negative, as we are talking about unimolecular, bimolecular or trimolecular and so on. But in the order of the reaction, they can be negative value. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon to get more videos like this. Till then, signing off.